The movie opens in Mumbai in 2009. A man is seen running frantically down the road. For now, we don't know who he is, so let's call him the stranger. At the same time, a diamond exhibition is about to begin at a convention center. Diamond merchants are ready to display their collections. There are multiple counters, sales representatives, and even a computer technician on site to assist clients. Both inside and outside the convention center, police security is tight, with some officers in plain clothes monitoring the situation. Meanwhile, the stranger, still running, reaches a public phone booth and borrows coins from a beggar sitting nearby to make a call. He opens a piece of paper and nervously dials a number, the office number of the convention center. The stranger asks to be connected to Sub-Inspector S.I. Campbell and informs him that a robbery is about to happen. The stranger reads directly from the paper, saying, 4 individuals are planning to rob the diamond exhibition. They have access cards and weapons and have planned this 2 days in advance. The weapons are already inside the building. He also provides details about the fake IDs the robbers are using and pleads with the police to catch them. Then, he abruptly ends the call. As the stranger predicted, 4 individuals disguised as housekeeping staff enter the convention center. They retrieve a bag hidden in the restroom, pull out guns, and prepare to attack. S.I. Campbell monitors their activities through CCTV cameras but soon notices one of the robbers disabling the cameras. Acting quickly, he sounds the alarm and orders an evacuation. Sales representatives and customers are escorted to a safe room by the police. The robbers, shocked by the police's preparedness, engage in a shootout. Amid the chaos, frightened civilians scream and panic. The police manage to shoot down all 4 robbers, preventing the robbery. With the situation under control, the police breathe a sigh of relief. The robbers' bodies are cleared from the scene with the help of a government hospital ambulance. As the crowd returns to the exhibition hall, a salesgirl named Kamini and a senior salesman notice that a glass display case is broken, and 5 red diamonds are missing. They immediately inform the police, explaining that the diamonds were intact when they left the hall. S.I. Campbell orders all exits to be sealed, ensuring no one can leave the premises. The police search for the missing diamonds on the floor but can't find them. Shortly afterward, a sub-inspector named Jaswinder, the movie's hero, arrives with the detection team. S.I. Campbell explains everything to him: the robbers, entry, the shootout, and now the missing diamonds. CCTV cameras were disabled 3 minutes before the shootout began. The police traced the phone number that alerted them about the robbery. The only witness to the caller's identity is the beggar who provided the coins. S.I. Campbell mentions that the timely tip-off helped them prevent the robbery, but Jaswinder suspects that someone used the chaos to steal the diamonds. S.I. Campbell informs Jaswinder that Kamini and the senior salesman were the last to leave the hall before the evacuation. He also adds that the diamond shop they work for belongs to someone influential, a close associate of the Home Minister. Campbell suggests finding the diamonds to improve the police's reputation. Jaswinder begins his investigation by questioning Kamini and the senior salesman. He asks who they know at the convention, and many hands go up because offices of leading diamond businesses are located in the same building. Jaswinder orders the CCTV footage to be retrieved and tells the attendees to return to where they were before the alarm was raised. He cross-checks their positions on the footage. He focuses on the staff from stalls 13, 18, and 19, allowing the others to leave after recording their details. Jaswinder closely observes the remaining individuals. His assistant begins questioning each of them. A computer technician named Sikandar stands out. Sikandar, originally from Kanpur, claims he was moving between stalls during the alarm to assist his clients with system issues. However, his nervous demeanor and hurried actions catch Jaswinder's attention. When Jaswinder questions him, Sikandar says he's in a rush because his unwell mother is alone at home. The hero becomes more suspicious because Sikandar was in a different location when the alarm was raised, but now he's somewhere else. Jaswinder asks Sikandar if he knows Kamini or the senior salesman. Sikander denies knowing them but admits to installing software in their office. Jaswinder instructs his assistant to search Sikander. Next, Jaswinder questions Kamini and the senior salesman. Kamini says she's from Uttar Pradesh and has been working for the company for 3 months, while the senior salesman, who is from Mumbai, says he's been with the company for 32 years. Neither of them recognizes Sikander. Upon learning that the missing diamonds are worth 50 crore rupees, Jaswinder is shocked. He informs his superior officer, who reminds him that the Home Minister personally recommended Jaswinder for this case due to his flawless track record. The officer instructs him to focus on recovering the diamonds while others investigate the robbers' identities. Jaswinder promises to solve the case within 24 hours. Despite searching Sikander, they find nothing suspicious. Sikander requests permission to inform his mother that he'll be late. Jaswinder allows the call and overhears Sikander telling his landlord to relay the message to his mother. Jaswinder confirms that it was indeed the landlord he spoke to and lets Sikander go. Jaswinder concludes that one of the three, Sikander, Kamini, or the senior salesman, has taken the diamonds. The senior salesman is offended, saying, "I've worked for 32 years. Why would I steal now?" Kamini, on the other hand, highlights that she's been working there for only 3 months. 3 people were caught stealing diamonds, but the hero is confident that only one person, among these 3, is guilty. He believes that the truth will never be wrong, and even the police are searching through their clothes. Meanwhile, Sikander is getting worried about what to do next. But the hero remains calm and says, "Suspect number 1 is the senior, suspect number 2 is Kamini, and suspect number 3 is Sikander." They arrest all 3 suspects and take them into custody. In the next scene, the 3 suspects are at the police station. The senior and Sikander are in the same cell. The senior complains that for many years, the owner of the place had never supported him, and also adds something else. Kamini had been sent for work, and it was told that she had been working there for 3 months. But in reality, she had worked there for about 4 years, then left and recently joined again. The senior tells the police that Kamini seems to have forgotten this. The police take Sikander to a separate room, tie him to a chair, and prepare to torture him. Before that, the hero talks to Sikander, but Sikander, feeling triggered, starts talking aggressively, and the hero gets angry and hits him. Sikander insists that he is not a thief and, looking at the hero's eyes, says that they should trust him. The hero, however, is not convinced and laughs at the situation. The next scene begins 15 years later. The hero, who used to be clean-shaven and neat, now has a beard and works diligently. The reason for this change in the hero's life is unknown to the audience. After these 15 years, a higher officer hands the hero a termination letter. The hero had apparently been suspended for 6 months, but still continued to drink during duty hours. He had been a star investigator in the department, but the higher officer insults him, and the hero walks away laughing. The next scene shows him in family court, where a divorce case is being heard. This seems to be the final hearing, and both the hero and his wife are granted a divorce. The wife is clear that she no longer has any attachment to the hero, and it is difficult for him to accept that their marriage has ended. He says, "I don't understand why we ended up like this." He also regrets that he is unable to live with her anymore. Afterward, the hero, heartbroken, goes to a bar to drink. As he thinks about his situation, he feels the weight of his circumstances. Then, he receives a call from Abu Dhabi. It's from his informer, who tells him that someone from India will be arriving tomorrow. The hero figures out that it's Sikander, who is now rich and wearing a suit. Sikander calls the hero, explaining that he had to leave his job and that his divorce is final. Sikander asks for forgiveness and says that he hadn't committed any crimes. The hero, however, does not want to hear it, and after some back and forth, he hangs up. He also recalls events from 15 years ago, when Sikander had been arrested based on his own words. Sikander had been in the lockup and now felt that the hero had wronged him. The case about the diamond theft is still ongoing in court. Despite the senior, Kamini, and Sikander being arrested as suspects, there is no evidence against them. The diamonds are still missing. Kamini and Sikander join forces to fight their case, and the hero requests more time to prove their involvement. The judge orders a 7-day remand. The police took the 3 suspects to the hospital, got X-rays done, and checked them, but there were no diamonds found inside their bodies. The hero is confused about where the diamonds could have gone. The police caught a stranger who had tipped them off about the robbery and interrogated him. Listening to his story, everyone's head started spinning. The stranger, as usual, had sent his little daughter to school in an auto. The next second, someone called the stranger and told him that his daughter had been kidnapped. They threatened him, saying, "If you want your daughter to be safe, do as I say." They seemed to have placed a letter in the front pocket of the stranger's pants. They forced him to call the number in that letter and repeat the content word for word. The stranger did as told, but later realized that nobody had actually kidnapped his daughter. The hero asks the stranger if he knows the 3 suspects, and the stranger says no. So, the hero didn't get any leads from him. The judge gave the hero 7 days to find the truth and submit proof. The hero beat Sikander black and blue to make him confess. Meanwhile, Lady Police Officer was torturing Kamini too. But no truth came out, so the hero requested 7 more days in court. The hero thought that the suspects might have passed the diamonds to someone else, but there was no proof for that. Hence, the judge granted bail to all 3 suspects. Sikander had a neighbor lady who was a good friend of his. She was a nurse. The police had taken the suspects to the government hospital for X-rays, and the neighbor was there too. That day, Sikander made sure not to let the police recognize the neighbor as someone he knew. Otherwise, the police would have doubted the neighbor as well. The neighbor had feelings for Sikander, but Sikander, being involved in the case, didn't want to get into a relationship. Because of that, the neighbor left Sikander. One day, when Sikander went to his office as usual to meet his clients, security didn't let him in. His boss also scolded him, saying they couldn't employ someone who had been to jail. He couldn't find a job anywhere else. He struggled to pay his house rent. He couldn't even afford to pay the advocate fighting his case. Understanding his plight, Kamini gave some money to Sikander. From that moment, a friendship began between Sikander and Kamini. Kamini's story was that her husband had married another woman. After having a child, Kamini struggled to live as a single parent. She also took care of her younger sister. Because of this, Sikander and Kamini became mutual support for each other. Their closeness increased as time went on. During this time, Sikander's mother passed away. Unable to pay the rent, Sikander vacated his house and started living with Kamini. They got married in a registrar's office and started their life together. Thinking about this flashback, Sikander now lands in Mumbai. A friend comes to receive Sikander and takes him along. This friend had helped Sikander during his tough times. Sikander hands his luggage to his friend and, without going home, goes to a bar to meet the hero. Sikander eagerly wants to ask the hero for forgiveness. He feels that the hero is the reason his life was ruined by getting him arrested. The hero says, "Not just your life, mine was ruined too." The hero asks what happened in Sikander's life after he left Mumbai, and the flashback begins. Even though the law says a person is innocent until proven guilty, society considers someone guilty as soon as an FIR is filed against them. Because of this, Sikander couldn't get a job anywhere in Mumbai. Sikander's friend had an uncle who owned a glass factory in Agra. The friend spoke to his uncle and arranged a job for Sikander. When Sikander was thinking about not having enough money to travel to Agra, Kamini told him she had some savings. Sikander, Kamini, their child, and Kamini's younger sister all moved to Agra. The friend's uncle provided them a place to stay. Sikander learned the work at the glass factory and started a new life. For 2 years, they lived happily. However, they couldn't find complete peace because the court case hadn't ended. Sikander traveled to Mumbai for the next court hearing. During this time, a new lady judge was appointed to the case. The hero couldn't attend the hearing. The strict judge stated the hearing couldn't be postponed again. The police report wasn't clear about why the three suspects were suspected or how the FIR was filed against them. The judge criticized the police for conducting an unprofessional investigation and released the three suspects. The judge also ordered an inquiry into the hero through the commissioner. Sikander returned to Agra and happily told Kamini the case was closed. At that moment, Kamini fainted, and Sikander rushed her to the hospital. The doctors diagnosed her with a lung problem and asked for her to be admitted. Sikander, having no money, pleaded with the doctor to admit her and promised to pay the next day. He left to check on the child and Kamini's younger sister at home. When he returned, he was shocked to see them sitting outside the house. The uncle had locked them out, accusing them of being thieves. Sikander asked the uncle why he did this. The uncle claimed the Mumbai police had sent a summons and said Sikander had no place in their house anymore. Sikander tried to explain that they didn't steal anything, but the uncle didn't believe him. Sikander took his salary from the factory, gathered the children, and left. With nowhere else to go, he rented a lodge room late at night. On his way to the hospital to see Kamini, three rowdies robbed him of his money and broke his phone. Feeling utterly defeated by life, Sikander decided to commit suicide by jumping off a bridge. As he was about to jump, he heard a car horn and looked back. He paused for a moment, realized something, and changed his decision to end his life. Meanwhile, the hero, who wasn't at peace even after the court released Sikander, sent a summons to the uncle in Agra. Sikander decided to confront the hero instead of ending his life. Sikander called his friend, explained his situation, and cried. The friend arranged for Sikander to go to Abu Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi, Sikander started working at a construction site. 4 years later, he got a better job as a project manager. He sent money to Kamini and his friend back home. When Sikander narrated this to the hero interrupted and asked why he hadn't mentioned Tabassum. Sikander then realized the hero had been spying on him even in Abu Dhabi. Tabassum was a girl who worked at Sikander's office in Abu Dhabi and had come from Mumbai. Sikander and Tabassum developed a friendship. Tabassum knew Sikander was married but still wished to spend time with him. One day, Sikander learned about Tabassum's past through another person. Tabassum had been a bar dancer in Mumbai. Sikander got angry upon learning this, but Tabassum explained that she left that life behind to start fresh. Sikander suspected that the hero had sent Tabassum to spy on him, but later realized she wasn't involved. Before returning to Mumbai, Sikander met Tabassum, gave her a cover, and left. Back in the present, the hero asks for Sikander's forgiveness. Sikander, now aware that the hero was behind his miseries, hugged him tightly and left. The hero then revealed some truths about the three suspects. After they got bail, the hero had them followed. Kamini tried to sell a stolen diamond at a jewelry shop. The jeweler informed the police, and the hero caught Kamini red-handed. The red diamond that went missing from the exhibition wasn't with Kamini, instead, it was a small white diamond. Kamini had stolen and hidden the diamond in her jewelry. Although the hero could have arrested Kamini, he didn't. Instead, he used her to spy on Sikander. He told Kamini to inform him if Sikander spent more than he earned or else he would send her to jail. Kamini had no choice but to agree. The hero's plan to pressure Sikander worked as Sikander lost his clients, job, and home. Eventually, Kamini stopped providing updates to the hero. Sikander finally realized the extent of the hero's interference in his life. Angry and hurt, Sikander left after confronting the hero. In the next scene, Sikander goes home and tells Kamini everything the hero had said, seating her down. Kamini admits that it's true she spied on Sikander to avoid going to jail. Kamini explains that she did it to protect her child and younger sister, as she had no other choice. However, Sikander cannot accept this betrayal. He feels that the life he lived with Kamini so far was meaningless. Sikander tells her to keep the house and assures her that he'll deposit money every month. He then leaves despite Kamini pleading with him. Heartbroken, Sikander stands at the bus stop and eventually boards a bus heading to some other town. He reaches a nursery garden located on the outskirts of the town. A woman, dressed in a collector outfit even though she was portrayed as a housewife until the previous episode, is seen there. It's none other than Sikander's neighbor, who was previously a nurse. Viewers might wonder why a nurse is working in a nursery garden, but this backstory isn't explained in the film. The neighbor shows Sikander a small plant she has for decoration purposes. As Sikander examines the plant, a sparkle appears on his face because there's something hidden in the soil, a red diamond that was stolen from an exhibition. The film reveals that Sikander was the one who broke the glass case and stole the diamonds. Sikander takes the plant and leaves the garden. While sitting on the bus feeling relieved, a man from the back seat places a gun on Sikander's head. It turns out to be the hero. Sikander trembles, saying, "Is there no end to this, sir?" The hero forces Sikander off the bus and takes him to a mountain peak, where he handcuffs him. The hero retrieves the diamonds from the plant and examines them. He reveals he has been waiting for this moment for 15 years. The hero calls his wife and tells her that he has recovered the stolen diamonds and caught the thief. His wife, who always trusted his instincts, congratulates him. However, because the hero was obsessed with proving this case to the world, he lost his peace and eventually his wife, who divorced him. The hero's wife says, "We paid a heavy price for this case. Now that you have closure, please be happy," and ends the call. The hero never doubted his instincts and believed Sikander would eventually retrieve the diamonds, which is why he kept spying on him. However, even after 15 years, Sikander didn't do it, which only proved the hero's determination. Sikander made the mistake of believing the hero's act of seeking forgiveness. Sikander begins narrating the story of how he stole the diamonds. 3 days before the exhibition, Sikander went to the convention center to set up the systems. There, he met a staff member named Tukaram, who asked Sikander for help with some computer work for a friend. Since Sikander was busy, he initially refused, but agreed after Tukaram offered him 5,000 rupees. Sikander went to the address provided, which turned out to be an abandoned building. Tukaram's friend showed him a computer, saying it wasn't working. The friend claimed even the printer wasn't functioning, and Sikander grew suspicious because the person seemed clueless about computers. When Sikander asked for water, the man went into another room where 2 more people were present. Sikander noticed a red bag containing guns in that room. On the computer, Sikander saw fake ID cards and details under the guise of convention center staff, making it clear they were planning something. After fixing the computer, Sikander took the money and left. The next day, Sikander saw Tukaram with the same red bag, placing it in the restroom at the convention center. To uncover their plan, Sikander followed Tukaram. By the following day, Sikander had learned they were planning a robbery. Sikander sabotaged their plan. In the opening scene, the stranger who informed the police about the robbery was none other than Sikander. Sikander planted a letter in the stranger's pocket and threatened him into tipping off the police. Sikander had observed that the stranger sent his child to school daily in an auto, which made him easy to manipulate. Due to the timely tip-off, the police managed to ambush and shoot the robbers. Before the shootout, the police evacuated everyone to a safe room. During that time, Sikander broke the glass case and stole the red diamonds. In the chaos, no one noticed Sikander's actions. After the shootout, government hospital ambulances arrived to clear the dead robbers' bodies. Sikander's neighbor, who was a nurse, was among the hospital staff. Sikander handed over the stolen diamonds to her, having explained his plan in advance and sought her help. The neighbor, who had feelings for Sikander, agreed to help and safeguarded the diamonds for all these years. For 15 years, the hero suspected that someone in the police force had helped Sikander, but he never considered the possibility of the nurse. Sikander recalls how he almost committed suicide due to the constant surveillance by the hero. Realizing the hero was still spying on him, Sikander decided to fake his death and fled to Abu Dhabi. Back in the present, the hero interrogates Sikander about the cover he gave Tabassum before leaving for Abu Dhabi. The film flashes back to Sikander giving Tabassum a love letter and tickets to Switzerland, knowing she had always dreamed of going there. The hero asks, "Were you planning to abandon your life here and settle in Switzerland?" Sikander responds, "We can either consider ourselves winners or losers, but the world will never understand us. I have one deal for you." The hero asks, "What deal?" The movie ends there.